That night, he saw the criminal attempting to kidnap her. The hero immediately attacked him, and they got into a fierce fight. However, the criminal managed to injure him and tried to escape. As he ran across the street, a car hit him, knocking him to the ground, unconscious. The hero approached, ready to capture him, but suddenly, something strange happened. The criminal's body transformed, and he was reborn into a new form. Taking advantage of the moment, he managed to escape. Back in the present, the detective was frustrated and uncomfortable with the hero's involvement. However, his superior forced him to cooperate in order to catch the criminal. The detective reluctantly agreed and sat down with the hero, who revealed that the criminal wears a mask and alters his appearance to avoid being recognized. Meanwhile, the heroine was on her way home when she felt someone following her. As the figure got closer, she screamed and was ready to attack, only to realize he was a police officer assigned to protect her, since the hero was at the station working on the case. She felt upset that the hero was away from her. When she got home, she told her friend about memories from her past life. She recalled that she was supposed to marry a prince, but another person interfered, stopping their wedding and triggering a war. She also remembered seeing her own wings and began to suspect that she had been an angel. Her friend, however, didn't believe her and said, "This must be the sin you committed, and now you're being at." The same time, the hero stood outside her apartment, secretly watching over her to make sure she was safe. When he finally returned home, his companion was waiting for him, warning him not to make the same mistake again and fall in love with a human. He reminded him that he must set up a romance between the heroine and Detective Sam so they could get married since it was their fate. However, the hero refused and walked away without responding. The next day, the heroine sent him a message. She asked him to meet her at the station, but the hero knew she was just making up excuses to see him, so he avoided her, trying not to weaken in front of her. Later, he discovered that the criminal's first victim had been the director of an orphanage. He and the detective went to speak with the orphanage's assistant, who revealed that the director had treated the children terribly. She then told the hero that he looked exactly like the detective who had worked on the case 30 years ago. The hero then began to talk to the orphanage assistant, while the detective grew even more suspicious of him. When they returned to the station, the heroine was already there. The hero tried to avoid her, but she spotted him and pulled him outside to talk. She suspected that he was avoiding her because he was already married. Confronting him, she asked, "Why did you hug me the last time we met? What am I to you?" The hero grew flustered and told her that she was just a witness in the case and that he only wanted to reassure her. The heroine became frustrated. She was determined to make him jealous. Meanwhile, the detective received a photo from the case 30 years ago. He was shocked to see that the hero's appearance hadn't changed at all. Recalling what the orphanage assistant had said, he confirmed his suspicions. He went to question the hero, but was caught off guard by how kind the hero was to him. The heroine then asked the hero to take her home. He was happy to oblige. However, as they left, the detective watched them closely, feeling uneasy. He warned the heroine to stay away from her. The heroine then asked the hero to take her home. He was happy to oblige. However, as they left, the detective watched them closely, feeling uneasy with her. She noticed how similar he looked to the prince who appeared in her dreams and began to feel as though they were destined to be together. They drank together, growing closer. The hero saw them and wanted to stop them, but he restrained himself, not wanting to lose her. He realized that he loved her and that she loved him, but sadly, fate was not on their side. Afterward, the detective took her home since she was completely drunk and barely conscious. However, once he left, she suddenly woke up, stumbled out of the house, and called the hero. She threatened him, saying she was alone in the street and that if he didn't come to meet her, the criminal might kidnap her instead. Afraid for her safety, he had no choice but to go to her. The next morning, the heroine woke up without any memory of what had happened. She was shocked when her friend told her that the hero had brought her home. Stunned, she began to remember bits and pieces and realized that she had. She then told the hero that she had been a queen in her past life and that she had run away from him because of one reason. Sometimes, strangers can become lovers. Embarrassed by what had happened, she couldn't even face him. Meanwhile, the detective handed the hero's photograph to the forensic lab to confirm whether it was fake or real. The heroine goes for another hypnosis session, but this time she is shocked to see the memories of the hero's lover who died 30 years ago. Meanwhile, the heroine goes for another hypnosis session, but this time she is shocked to see the memories of the hero who died 30 years ago. Meanwhile, the hero is at the station and witnesses an argument between a married couple. The wife is angry after seeing her husband with another woman. The other woman mocks the wife, calling her fat and ugly, and confidently tells her that the husband will divorce her to marry her instead. The hero is moved by the wife's sadness and decides to help her. He goes to the rooftop and shoots an arrow of love at the husband. Instantly, the husband falls back in love with his wife, starts treating her kindly, and completely forgets about her. The wife is overwhelmed with joy, tugs him tightly, and cries in relief. At the same time, the forensic lab sends its report back to the detective, confirming that the photo of the hero is real. The detective sees the hero holding a sniper rifle and immediately suspects that he is the criminal they've been searching for. He draws his gun and points it at him. Meanwhile, the heroine decides to visit the home of the hero's late lover. She meets the woman's mother and feels a strange familiarity with her. The heroine says, "I don't know," but she apologizes and leaves quickly. Back at the station, the detective questions the hero about the photograph. The hero claims that the man in the picture is his father, saying that they only look alike. To verify the hero's story, the detective checks the sniper rifle from the old case, only to discover that it isn't real. He reluctantly believes the hero, but still suspects him of being a stalker who spies on women from afar. The detective meets with the husband nurse, who has been waiting at the station. The husband wants to meet the last person who saw his wife before she disappeared. However, the detective refuses, not wanting to put the heroine's life in danger. That evening, the police officer assigned to protect the heroine escorts her home safely. She keeps thinking about what she did while she was drunk, feeling embarrassed for throwing herself at the hero. Out of shame, she tries to avoid him. The next day, after finishing work at the clinic, she is surprised to see the missing nurse's husband waiting for her. He asks to talk, and she reluctantly agrees. He tells her that he saw her at the station and knows that she was the last person to speak with his wife. He asks her what his wife said before she disappeared. The heroine recalls the nurse telling her that she was sad because her husband was always busy and neglected her. Unfortunately, she ended up getting close to another man, but never had the heart to tell her husband because she didn't want to hurt him.